Welcome to the battle zone.
You see, there's a war going on here, and they don't take prisoners.
Michael Douglas.
Sometimes you gotta choose a side.
Andy Garcia. Ride into a Ridley Scott film. Black Rain. Saturday, 10:20, BBC1.
A fateful affair and a dangerous woman. A true story that shocked America. Lethal Lolita, our film at 12:15. Over on BBC2 in a few minutes, Aspirations and Dreams of Riches, made in Manchester.
At moments like this, a little French comes in handy. Call 0891 11 4433 for your World Cup French pack.
Now on BBC1, a look back at the action in Paris, day one of the World Cup with Gary Lineker.
Good evening. By now you've no doubt made the first scribblings on your wall chart as the 16th World Cup got underway in Paris this afternoon. Brazil were holding hands, but it was more a case of fingers crossed for Scotland. There was plenty of British interest too in the day's other game as Norway, with nothing short of 7 Premiership players in their starting lineup, took on Morocco in Montpellier. Well, England aren't in action until Monday, but they've arrived and we'll have a special report from their base camp in Boule. We'll also take a close look at the Italians. Baggio's back with a chance to erase the memories of 4 years ago. Cameroon have scared, and sharing their first day nerves with me are Ali McCoist, Martin O'Neill and Mark Lawrenson. Right, to the action, and we start with Scotland's big day out against Brazil. They meet every 8 years in the World Cup finals, and the Scots have yet to win. Could that change today? Well, the Brazilian coach Mario Zagallo named a starting 11 a month ago, but was forced to bring Bebeto in when Romario pulled out of the squad through injury. Scotland coach Craig Brown opted for an attacking formation, with Celtic's Darren Jackson playing just behind the front pair, Gordon Jory and Kevin Gallacher. The commentators at the Stade de France are Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
Only England have played in the opening match and gone on.
Well, I think we were brave, but I think definitely perhaps not good enough. There's no doubt in my mind that Brazil shaded it in terms of ability, and they deserved to win the game. But it was a game which we shouldn't have lost. That's the way I would put it. We had great chances, A, to equalise, and B, not to concede 2 terribly bad goals from our point of view. From the defensive point of view, the goals we conceded are most uncharacteristic for Scotland, and we've got to be disappointed about that.
They scored at the worst possible moment. It set us back a bit and gave them confidence. But I thought we showed a lot of spirit and character. We came back into the game and got the penalty. And went in at half-time 1-1, and it gave us a lot of confidence.
You're a confident man, but even you must have had a sinking feeling when the goal went in.
Can't remember the last time we conceded a goal at a corner. Very unfortunate. It was a great ball in at the near post, always difficult to defend against. And went in the back of the net, unfortunately.
It was in that torrid early period that we saw perhaps the best flashes of Ronaldo so far in the Championship. What did you make of him?
Well, I don't need to see him again against Scotland to know how excellent he is. He's a superb player, arguably the best in the world. and they've got several other players who back him up brilliantly. But again, I've got to give credit to our team because, you know, underrated, I think. I think people maybe would see that we made the opening tie in the World Cup a very good game. There were chances at both ends, and I thought both goalkeepers were tremendous. And had it not been for excellent goalkeeping by both Jim Leighton and Taffarel, we would have had more goals in that game.
Yeah, it was nice to score, but at the end of the day, we got nothing out of the game. Maybe a little bit of pride when we put on a decent performance.
What do you think, John, is most encouraging about the way Scotland performed today?
Well, I think we showed a lot of character coming back from such an early goal. We could have easily have crumbled, but we got ourselves back into the game, got possession of the ball, started knocking it about, and they put them under a little bit of pressure, and I think we proved that they're not too confident at the back if you go at them. They were a little bit shaky.
I thought we could get something, and I don't think it was misplaced optimism. I was genuinely optimistic, and at half-time I was more than optimistic, and I said that to them. And I genuinely feel that they had very little opportunity in the second half apart from a kind of scrambled goal. So we've got optimism going into the Norway game, believe me, and we will have the players ready for that. But Norway are the best team in Europe in terms of results at the moment. So that will be an extremely difficult one. But we're assured, we're capable, and I think we're calm, and I'm sure that that will carry us through the next two fixtures.
It's not like us to lose bad goals like that. I mean, normally we lose good goals against us, and to lose two softish ones like that is a bit disappointment. But we just showed that, I mean, how good we are, and just unfortunate just to come away in the losing side.
In that first opening 20 minutes, did you fear it was going to be a bit of a going over?
No, I think we were a bit nervous to start with, but once we got over the first 15-20 minutes and we got into the game, then I think we showed that we can cause problems to teams like Brazil.
Everybody's absolutely gutted after putting in a performance like that. Losing a goal early on, a bad goal, and then having the character to come back and at half-time, we're just seen the reaction of our fans at half-time and looked pretty comfortable. And losing another sloppy goal, but it's an own goal, and Tommy can't really do anything about it, and I think we're just unfortunate then.
Oh, it's super well gutted, isn't it? You know, just nothing you can do about it. You just couldn't get out of the way. I couldn't get out of the way quick enough, and just feeling so helpless when you see it trickling into the net.
When it played off you, did you know what was going to happen after that?
Yeah, well, I'm right behind it, and it's directly behind the goals, and Jim isn't there because he's made a great save for the boy, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm just hoping they'd maybe deflect off a rock or go somewhere, somebody come out the stand and clear it off the line, but it didn't happen, didn't win in.
Chick Young and Hazel Irving asking the questions there. Well, naturally a huge disappointment for Craig Brown's men, but there was still plenty to cheer about. The Scots weren't about to let a narrow defeat to the world champions spoil their party.
Bonjour, bonjour. Very unlucky to lose the second goal. I know, G. It's the only way they can beat us. Give them a go.
Hard luck case, but I'm proud of the performance of the players. They tried their best, and one goal at the end was a wee bit hard to take, but
mind you, the boys looked after Ronaldo pretty well. He didn't get too many looks of the ball.
We're disappointed, but we'll have a good time tonight.
Did ourselves proud, second best again, but never mind. We're brave, did well. Still got 2 games to qualify, and we're going to do it. Still be there, no problem. Still be there.
No shortage of confidence, Ali. I mean, you never quite made Craig Brown's squad, but I was watching the game with you, and you seemed to me to kick every ball. Brave effort.
We can never accuse us of not putting in a brave effort. I was a little bit disappointed. First 20, 25 minutes, I feared the worst, Gary. I didn't think we started well. I thought the Brazilians started very well. When the first goal, and it was a disastrous time to lose a goal, I really feared the worst. But once we weathered the storm, we got the break with the penalty, which in my opinion wasn't a penalty, and then the luck levelled itself a little bit out in the second half, and we lost a bad goal.
Open game though. 32 goal attempts, and 14 of them for Scotland. Not
was
bad.
there? I was surprised at that. Well, I didn't think we saw much of Scotland as a real attacking force, but then I didn't really expect us to, because we're playing one of the best teams in the world, and it hasn't changed, in my opinion, that much now, because we've got to go and beat Norway, and we've got to beat Morocco.
Martin, it didn't help Scotland's cause getting off to such a terrible start, and of all things, a corner.
Well, they just mentioned they hadn't conceded a corner for quite some time. It's an awful thing to start off with. Babetta swings the ball in. Burley, I feel he's wrong side. He should be goal side. Boyd actually have angled here just for a second because he doesn't actually participate. He shoulders it into the net.
Yeah. Mark, Craig Brown said it in the interview there, very honest opinion. He said we weren't quite good enough. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, Gary. I think the hardest position in Scotland's team to play at the moment is the front positions, because the way Scotland play, very much one of containment today. I know it's against Brazil, the world champions, but you're asking people like Jury and Gallacher to do so much hard work, chasing full-backs, chasing centre-backs who come out. And because of that, eventually when they do get the ball forward, they run out of legs. We saw in the second half, Gallacher got down the right-hand side. No one can get in the box, though. I think they had one half chance in the penalty area, and I think that's the biggest problem that Scotland face.
Must have some very poor centre-forwards playing in Scotland at the minute.
He couldn't even get in his... You must have been watching that game, Ali, thinking last 20, or must have been feeling like getting on there.
Oh, I'd have loved to get on. I mean, just the whole occasion for me was absolutely magnificent. And it's the first time, it might be the last time, that Scotland have been involved in the opening game in the World Cup. And we did ourselves proud. I don't think we'll let it end down at all. It was going to be difficult, and I agree with what Mark said. Playing up front for Scotland is probably the hardest job in the world, because we do play to our strengths, and basically our strengths, albeit not today, is defending. And today we didn't defend well. We lost 2 sloppy goals. But playing up front for Scotland is very, very difficult. Even you might struggle to score up front.
Mark, one thing's for sure, Brazil aren't short up front, and Ronaldo was a bit special, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I mean, you know, arguably he was well shackled by Scotland. I think they did very well against it. Great play. Again here, all the world think he's going to have a shot. It's Ronaldo. What does he do? Little back heel. This time it's Leonardo. Marvellous.
See, the one thing I couldn't believe, it's the first time I've seen him live, and you and I were talking about it. He is very, very quick. His speed's probably his main asset.
He's not a goal poacher, though, is he?
No, he's not. But I couldn't believe how strong he is. He uses his body very, very well. And Colin Henry's a big lad.
And I think the rules are definitely going to help people like him.
The new referee's directive, and defenders are suddenly scared to make tackles. It's going to benefit the dribbler, which Ronaldo.
And once you get defenders in the penalty area, you're laughing because he can't come anywhere near you.
To be fair, he could play in any year, that lad, you know? Wouldn't matter whether you make a tackle on him outside the box, inside the box. He's so strong. He's a fantastic player. And he's opened up the World Cup for us, hasn't he, really?
Something to look forward to, watching him for the rest of the tournament. OK. Now, England, of course, have to wait until Monday to get their World Cup campaign underway. The Tunisian game must seem like a lifetime away as Glenn Hoddle's team settle down in their base camp at Boule. Checking in with them yesterday was Ray Stubbs.
If England's football is as creative and inventive as the public relations, well, they should fare more than well in these World Cup finals. Day one, and local French school children already have the T-shirt. They've been badged, and they've had lessons in recognising the names and faces of their famous footballing visitors. They've got the autograph too. England's preparations for their 3 first-phase games are being made in the resort area of La Boule on the west coast of France. Nantes is the nearest World Cup venue, and England are borrowing the facilities those same local school children used to play football. Sol Campbell is still recovering from the dead leg he picked up in the game against Belgium. Les Ferdinand and Gary Neville missed training for treatment on Achilles and calf injuries respectively today. All 3 will be delighted England don't play till next Monday. Glenn Hoddle knows his starting lineup, injuries permitting, and speculation continues about how he might use the emerging talent of Liverpool's Michael Owen. Owen featured alongside Alan Shearer in last night's victory in Cannes. The last time England played in the World Cup finals, Italia 90, he was collecting autographs, not signing them.
I was in junior school, age 10, and just watching at home with my family.
Age 10, that's absolutely frightening. Was it in your mind then, I could play in 1998? Was that a target even as a young footballer?
No, I wouldn't say so. I was not a bad player as a kid, so I always had dreams of playing in the World Cup. I'd never imagined playing when I was 18.
What are the moments from Italia 90 that stick in your mind?
I think everyone's was the penalties that could have got us to the finals. The Belgium goal by David Platt. Gary Lineker scoring against Cameroon, 2 penalties.
I guess you were the penalty taker for the school team as well at that stage.
Yeah.
Can you sum up now what it means to you to be going to the World Cup 8 years on?
Well, yeah, I think, as I said, it's a lifelong ambition to any young lad. When you're playing in the playground, you always saying your names after your idols. So made the last 22. That was a big thing, and now it's down to getting into the starting 11. But as the manager says, it's all 22 players are going to be important in the World Cup. But for the players' point of view, you all want to get into that starting 11 for the first game and hopefully keep down your place.
When training ends, Owen is one of those who'll head for the first tee of the golf course that surrounds the England Hotel. Typically, his scoring is above average.
I play off 8, but I don't shoot way below that like a few other players do.
8?
Yeah.
Who else are the reasonable golfers? Who can play a bit?
There's quite a lot of players. David Seaman plays off 10. There's Teddy Sheringham on Shearer. Paul Lynch says he's off 20 something, but he can play far low, and so can Macca. So they often win the tournaments only because they give him false handicaps.
Par for the course. Given his emergence, media interest in Michael Owen's personal life has increased. But reports a World Cup victory would lead to a marriage proposal are wide of the mark, he says.
I don't know where anyone got that from, saying I was proposing to... Is that what you're on about?
The newspapers say if you win the World Cup...
Do you believe the newspapers?
Well, exactly, but I thought I'd hear from the horse's mouth.
No, that's not true. I don't know where. There's been a lot of press trying to get in touch with my girlfriend lately, and because she won't put anything out into the press, and then they've made that one up.
Well, it's frightening, this World Cup business then, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's a lot of things going about to it, so but we're all concentrating on the job.
Well, if you win the World Cup, maybe you'll be so ecstatic you might get round to it. Who knows what's going to happen?
You were trying to get out with me now, aren't you?
Liverpool's young striker, sharp on and off the pitch. Latest news from the England camp. The squad gathered together to watch Scotland's brave performance against the Brazilians. Glenn Hoddle reports his players have settled into the team hotel without any major problems. It's back to the training pitch tomorrow. The focus already firmly on Monday's opening game in Marseille.
Well, Ray Stubbs is trying to marry off Michael Owen a bit early, but Martin, I think the most significant thing is the fact that Owen partnered Shearer in yesterday's friendly. Do you think that means he's going to start with him? Or?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Maybe it might teach Sheringham a lesson. I'm not really sure about that, Gary. I personally would start him in the game. I'm not Glenn Hoddle. I don't think you will, in fairness. I think you might just go for the experience of Sheringham and Shearer together. But I would start him. He's got the lot, hasn't he? He's quick. I'll tell you what, the interview was fantastic. You know, he's 18 years of age. I couldn't do it. Sorry, I still can't do interviews like that then. I'm 46.
Oh, you're getting better, though.
Not much.
But he is composed. I mean,
oh, it's
in 1990, he's 10 years old. Did it make you feel old?
It does, actually. It's a breath of fresh air. I mean, 18-year-old kid, as you say, showing a maturity far beyond his years, and what a player he is. I would definitely start him. I mean, I'm a big fan of goal scorers, as you know. I think he's very, very pacey, and because he's young, he shows no fear.
Yeah, it's unanimous, Mark. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, and I think the other important thing is from the team that played against Caen is that they only played with Ince, not Ince and Batty. I think everyone recognises you've got to win the game against Tunisia. You probably only need one holding player, so I think Scholes will probably start as well.
Is it a disadvantage or an advantage for England to start the tournament late?
I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever, Gary. I mean, the fact that it's actually started, you've got 3 or 4 days before you play, is slightly galling because you think we're just hanging around and waiting, but it won't make any difference once they win the first game.
OK, thanks a lot. Well, if you were just hanging on for the England piece, you can get yourself off to bed now. But then again, there's only one World Cup every 4 years, so why not stay up with us for the day's other Group A game? It's Norway against Morocco, and believe me, it's worth staying up for. The Moroccan side included 3 teammates from the Spanish First Division club, La Coruña, Nibet, Hadji and Basia, while Norway had the Manchester United trio, Henning Berg, Ronny Johnsen and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They met in Montpellier and it was watched by Tony Gubber.
Well, the Atlas Lions, as Morocco are known, did reach the second round of the World Cup in 1986, only losing 1-0 at that stage, 1-0 to Germany, and they've earned themselves an excellent 2-2 draw here against Norway. But maybe the disappointment for Morocco will be that they twice led against a team considered superior opponents. Hadji, who put them ahead in 38 minutes. Henning Berg trying to claim the equaliser in added-on time at the end of the first half, although it was certainly an own goal by Chipo. Hadar with the second Moroccan goal after 58 minutes. And then the defender Eggen forward for the corner to head Norway's second equaliser. The star of the match wasn't on the field at the final whistle, number 20, Tahar, the player from Benfica in Portugal, who pulled the strings for Morocco and who was so instrumental in earning them this 2-2 draw. The final score here in Montpellier is Morocco 2, Norway 2.
Well, Martin, 4 years ago, Norway bored the pants off everyone in USA '94, but I mean, that was a much more encouraging game, wasn't it? Enjoyable.
What's wrong with boring the pants of people? I've played in a number of teams that have done that. Plenty,
managed
you know.
few, some would say.
Oh, well done, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they were in a very weak group, but they won it very convincingly in the qualifying rounds. And there are a lot of people's dark horses to do quite well in the competition. I mean, we know a lot of the players from the three Premiership have always a fancy for the boy, Torre Andre Flo. But they'll be decent. I think they're okay. Having said that, on tonight's performance over Morocco.
Looking at Morocco, Mark, I know you're impressed by one or two of their individuals, and one particular with quite a famous World Cup name, Hadji.
Let's give him his full title. Mustafa Hadji, I think, is a name that everyone's so direct, and he could go either side, and Scotland have a problem with him.
You know, one person they'd probably be more encouraged by was the performance of the goalkeeper. I saw Alan Hansen this afternoon describe Taffarel as a dodge pot. What would you describe Ben Zerki as?
Well, I think Ben Zekri it was a non-performance from the goalkeeper, certainly. I mean, he couldn't play in the Premier League, not with all the amount of crosses that come in. This is just meat and drink for a goalkeeper. Just have a look at this. Well, he doesn't make any contact whatsoever on the ball, more on the player. And here, Guy, you've got to look very, very close. You just see a little pair of white gloves appear in the picture. There they are.
It's Michael Jackson.
Dear, oh dear. Max Bygraves, you need hands, I think it was. So I think certainly with Scotland, if they get the ball and deliver it into those areas, there's going to be problems.
OK, if we can actually have a look at Group A and the current state of it, I think that although Scotland are currently bottom, they would have been hugely encouraged, Ali, by that draw, wouldn't they?
I think that's a good result for us because obviously didn't want one to win and get 3 points. But as I said earlier, I don't think it alters our approach any great deal because we have got to beat Norway. I think we've always had to beat Norway, and we've got to take something from the Morocco game. And it's going to be difficult but I think the Norway game might suit us because they're big lads. They're a British type game. You said 7 of the boys playing the Premiership, so we know what to expect. And I'm hoping we do well. I think we will.
I was going to say, I think the other thing, Gary, as well, because Norway have got Brazil last, so they're going to have to take the game to Scotland, and the way Scotland play, that might just suit them.
Hey, listen, that's not exactly what you were saying. You think Scotland have got no chance. Absolutely no chance. Because you said that before. You said they've got no chance.
Not in front of Ali, he didn't. Right, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow's games now, the pick of which appears to be Italy versus Chile. It's not the first time the two countries have met in the finals, but let's hope it's a friendlier affair than it was at the Battle of Santiago in 1962. I don't think David Coleman liked it very much.
Good evening. The game you're about to see is the most stupid, appalling, disgusting and disgraceful exhibition of football possibly in the history of the game. Chile versus Italy. This is the first time the two countries have met. We hope it will be the last.
And there's trouble already. There's a fight going on in the middle there. And there we go again. That was one of the neatest left hooks I've ever seen.
Now, if the World Cup is going to survive in its present form, something's got to be done about teams that play like this. Indeed, after seeing the film tonight, you at home may well think that teams that play in this manner ought to be expelled immediately from the competition.
Strong stuff. Despite those words, though, over the years, the Italians have continued to attend this tournament of tournaments, providing us along the way with some more magical Mondiali memories, like the roar of Tardelli in '82, the eyeballs of Schillaci in '90, and, of course, the blunder of Baggio in '94, rather embarrassingly in the World Cup final itself. Well, now with, if you will, it all about to kick off against Chile once more, the Italians are here 25 miles north of Paris, preparing to live up to their glorious World Cup heritage.
What kind of result do you think would be accepted by the fans and the press at home in this World Cup?
To be honest,
yeah,
I think only we win the World Cup.
Not even runners-up?
Maybe final, otherwise I don't think they're going to be happy.
And sincerely, do you think you're going to be able to do that?
I mean, we all hope that.
Right.
Well, as of last Friday, the optimistic Italians have been nestling in the woods outside of Gallacher, along with 1,300 kilos of pasta and 83 legs of ham. Like many sides, theirs has been a shaky build-up, scraping through qualifications and arriving without several big names. Some, like Gianfranco Zola and Gigi Casiraghi, weren't picked. Others, the defensive leader, Ciro Ferrara, and the keeper, Angelo Peruzzi, are out injured. Still, coach Cesare Maldini has ensured goodwill back home by finally bringing back to the side Roberto Baggio. In the World Cup in '94, of course, Baggio was Italy's decisive player, first dragging them to the final, then, as mentioned, blowing his kick in the penalty shootout to hand the title to Brazil. Now, after almost 4 years dreaming of a second chance, he returns.
È l'ultima chance questa volta?
Sì, è l'ultima. È già importantissimo per me essere qui, speriamo di fare bene.
Come ti senti con l'azzurro di nuovo addosso?
Bene, sono molto felice.
Cos'è la tua speranza?
Ma ho detto di andare più avanti possibile.
E devi vendicare quel pomeriggio a Pasadena?
Speriamo.
With original starter Alessandro Del Piero looking lively but still out from a muscle tear, the news is that tomorrow Baggio is set to go straight into Italy's starting lineup, where he may prove hard to shift. His probable partner there, Christian Vieri, who, having grown up down under, possesses probably the squad's finest Aussie accent.
You look really good in training today. I know that you've played alongside some of the best players in European, perhaps world football. What is it about Roberto that marks him out from them?
Well, you know, he can score. He's a great goal scorer, and he can give you the ball in the right place and the right time. So I think that's very, very important for the player who plays beside him.
Okay, it's a tough opening game. Italy's quite famous for starting World Cup slowly. Do you think that you're going to get off to a better start this time against Chile?
I don't know. We're training good. We are getting prepared for the first game. And hopefully we will do.
Well, despite Fabrizio Ravanelli dropping out of the squad today with a chest infection, he'll be replaced by Enrico Chiesa. The attack remains Italy's trump card, with Del Piero and Pippo Inzaghi also standing by. But though the squad can boast more strikers than Air France, there are problems elsewhere. Coach Maldini himself has bemoaned his lack of midfield options and has mentioned the defence is missing 2 key starters. Still, as they point out back home, Italy looked poor going into the '82 tournament as well. And look what happened there, their 3rd World Cup triumph. Final word for now to Cesare Maldini.
Adesso tutti fanno il paragone, noi avevamo dei problemi nell'82 però abbiamo vinto, però questo non vuol dire assolutamente nulla, i tempi sono cambiati, le squadre sono completamente diverse, noi speriamo di far bene.
So, with expectations as high as a 1962 tackle, that's Italy. They may not get off to a flying start tomorrow, but they must still rank among the serious contenders for the title. After all, with a 3rd place finish in Italia 90 and 2nd place last time around, their numbers are certainly pointing in the right direction.
James Richardson reporting there. Now, Pele's gone on record as saying that an African nation would win the World Cup before the millennium. Well, time's running out for the great man. But one of the contenders from that continent is Cameroon, who went pretty close in 1990. And Steve Lee assesses their chances ahead of tomorrow's opening encounter against Austria.
It was the World Cup of the wiggle. Roger Miller invented it. The Cameroon danced their way to the quarter-finals. Uncharted territory for an African nation. Eight years on, Roger Miller's hung up his dancing boots, but can the new young Lions of Cameroon prove worthy successors? They ply their trade in just about every soccer nation on earth. Against a background of domestic ticket scandals and makeshift passports, the Cameroon are here again for their 4th finals. They're sweating it out near Montpellier in the south of France. The natural exuberance is still there. They revel in the sheer pleasure of just playing. It's home from home for many. 13 were born in France, 9 play in the National League here. Cameroon may have 26 different languages, but only one matters here. French coach Claude Leroy took temporary charge just 3 months ago. It's a juggling act he's well used to. He was national coach in the 80s and wants them to wipe out the bitter memories of failure at USA 94.
That's perfectly correct to try to present something positive. You know, that's very important, even in terms of image for the Cameroon. It's so important. This country needs to show a positive side of, because it's a fantastic country. We know it will be very difficult. We know that in our group, Italy is for me above. Maybe Chile today is a little bit above, and we have to fight with Austria.
Patrick Mboma could be Cameroon's key player. He's been labelled the new Roger Miller. His career's taken him from Metz and Paris Saint-Germain to Japan, where he's been a prolific scorer. In the qualifying stages, he top-scored with 5 goals in 6 games. He's one of Cameroon's older players, but appreciates the injection of youth.
Sometimes to be young is a quality. Probably we need more experience, but I think there are enough experienced players in that team, and it will be okay for our team.
There are just two survivors from the 1990 squad. At 32, Francois Oyembik is back in favour up front. Keeper Jacques Songo thinks the new Cameroon can still shock people.
Moi, personnellement, j'ai confiance à cette équipe, ce groupe très talentueux qui ont envie de prouver quelque chose. Le plus difficile, c'est d'abord de passer au premier tour, ce qu'on a envie de faire. Et de là, on va voir venir l'avenir tranquillement.
It's here in a stunning chateau in the south of France that Cameroon are planning to prove the pundits wrong. Few give them much of a chance in this World Cup. Few doubt whether they can ever make the impact they made 8 years ago. What's more, their group with Italy and Chile, the favourites, would appear to be tough to qualify from.
Pour parler de notre groupe, je pense que notre groupe, les quatre teams ont la possibilité d'aller au second tour. Bon, ce qui fera la différence, c'est d'arriver vraiment. Ce qui fera la différence, c'est la forme du moment, comment les joueurs s'entendront ensemble. Et je pense que c'est plus la qualité footballistique, mais c'est vraiment comment les gens sont bien ensemble et la forme du moment qui fera la différence.
They'll have the broadest smiles at France 98 and wonderful natural talent to match. It will be a much duller World Cup without them.
And we'll have live coverage of Cameroon versus Austria tomorrow night. That's BBC1 at 7:30. And news in tonight that the South African coach Philippe Troussier tonight confirmed that he would take over as the new Sheffield Wednesday manager at the end of the World Cup. The controversial Frenchman was offered the job during a meeting with the Wednesday chairman Dave Richards yesterday. But back to the World Cup, and it was a pretty good opening day. Plenty of goals and only 4 yellow cards, and more surprisingly perhaps no red cards.
I think it's been great because I was a little bit concerned earlier on in the week how the referees would take it to the new laws and regulations. I think they did very well. I thought the performance in the opening game was terrific, and I think he set the standard.
Especially the penalty.
Wasn't a penalty. we'll take anything, but I didn't think it was a penalty. But he tucked it away well, didn't he?
Yeah, it sort of whets the appetite today, doesn't it, Mark?
It does, yeah. I agree with Ali. It grieves me to say it, but referees today have actually done very well, you know. I can't see them lasting. I really can't. But even so, it's been a good start.
What's been the highlight of the first day for you, Mark?
I think when you look at certainly, the opening games notoriously is normally absolute rubbish. I thought today's was good. I thought the second game certainly was so entertaining. So if that's going to be a pointer for us, what we've seen, 7 goals today, we've seen some excellent goals, we've seen some poor defending, excellent refereeing, and I think generally it's a World Cup we can all look forward to.
And a bit of dodge pot goalkeeping as well.
Lots of dodge pot goalkeeping, don't worry about that.
OK, chaps, thanks very much for tonight. Well, we're off and running. It looked good for Scotland for a while, but in the end, the joy turned to despair for Craig Brown. Good night.
Yes, Frankie, my son. You still got it. Yeah.
EastEnders, Friday at 8 on BBC1.
I'll always love you.
The words everybody dreads.